In the history of sports, there are two types of players. The first type reads the game, reacts to it, and tries to excel within the established rules. And the second type doesn't just read the game, they rewrite it. They dictate their own rhythm, break the geometric and physical laws of the court, and make the impossible look completely routine. For months, the basketball world had been holding its collective breath. The fans weren't just waiting for another exhibition game, and they certainly weren't just waiting to watch Team USA inevitably dismantle another opponent. They were waiting for a pulse. They were waiting for a revival.
Caitlin Clark finally back on the basketball court, and it lived up to the anticipation. I mean, you immediately see it as soon as she checks into the game. She's the best point guard in the world, right?
After a grueling absence, stretching back to July, battling through a myriad of nagging injuries that disrupted her rhythm last season, Caitlin Clark was finally back on the hardwood. But this time, the stakes felt different. This was her senior national team debut. In this breakdown, we aren't just going to recite the box score or rely on empty hype. Today, we are conducting a meticulous tactical and anatomical dissection of exactly what happened when Team USA took on Senegal. We are going to analyze how a single player can sub into a game and immediately hijack the entire dynamic of the floor, proving with undeniable visual evidence that she is the undisputed best point guard in the world. To truly appreciate the magnitude of her impact, we first have to examine the landscape before she took off her warm-ups. Team USA boasts an absolute arsenal of the greatest basketball talent on the planet. Chelsea Gray, a phenomenal veteran, got the start at point guard. Angel Reese was in the starting five. The defense was elite, as expected. But the offense? The offense felt surprisingly conventional. It was methodical. The ball rotation was heavily reliant on perimeter passing, allowing the Senegalese defense ample time to set their feet, communicate through screens, and build a wall in the paint. Team USA was playing winning basketball, but it lacked that kinetic, terrifying velocity. It lacked the spark that shatters a defense's will to compete. And then, the moment arrived. The substitution was made. The moment Caitlin Clark's sneakers hit the hardwood, it wasn't just a shift in the crowd's decibel level, it was a fundamental alteration of the game's DNA. Let's talk about her processing speed. In basketball, they say a great point guard sees the play 2 seconds before it happens. Caitlin Clark sees the play 5 seconds before the defense even realizes what set is being run. Let's look at the immediate, undeniable proof. On her very first 3 touches of the basketball in a senior Team USA uniform, she registered 3 consecutive assists.
Who was on the floor for Team USA? But Caitlin in the game, look at that, delayed screen roll action, perfect pocket pass for the first assist. Then, see there out to Kelsey Plum. Pretty routine, but sees it early, gets it out.
Look closely at this specific possession. This is where high-level analysis meets pure artistry. They run a delayed screen and roll action. Most guards in this situation will stare down the roller, telegraphing the pass and allowing the weak side defender to bump the cutter. Not Clark. Notice her eyes. Notice the timing. She utilizes a flawless pocket pass, threading the needle through an impossibly tight window. The ball essentially materializes in her teammate's hands for the easy finish. She isn't throwing the ball to where her teammate is. She's calculating the exact coordinate where her teammate will be a half second in the future. In transition, her mere presence induces panic. She grabs the ball, and before taking a single dribble to assess the floor, her radar is already scanning 90 feet away. This level of rapid-fire playmaking forces the defense to sprint backward on every single possession, completely exhausting them mentally and physically. But the genius of her passing is only half the nightmare for the opposition. The other half is the sheer, unadulterated terror she inspires the second she crosses half court with the ball in her hands. Coming off an injury-riddled year where her shot wasn't falling at its usual historic rate, there were whispers. Had she lost her touch? Was the rust going to show?
She was 4 of 5 from 3 in this one. But here's another one of those deep shots. Catch, shoot, cash. No hesitation from Caitlin Clark there. And,
the answer was a resounding, devastating no. Clark shot the lights out in this game, going 4 for 5 from 3-point range. But it's not just about the percentage, it's about the sheer audacity of the range. Watch this sequence right here. Catch, shoot, cash. absolutely zero hesitation. In modern basketball analytics, we talk endlessly about offensive gravity, the idea that a great shooter pulls defenders away from the basket. Stephen Curry defined this for a decade. What we are witnessing now is the Caitlin Clark vacuum. Because she can legitimately pull up from 30 feet out and bury it with a flick of her wrist, the Senegalese defenders were forced to abandon their standard defensive principles. They had to press up on her near the logo. When you stretch a defense that thin, the middle of the floor completely opens up. If they press her, she blows by them or throws a laser to a cutter. If they give her an inch of breathing room, she puts 3 points on the board. It is an unsolvable geometric equation for a defense. Perhaps the most fascinating narrative heading into this game was how she would mesh with the other young, hyper-talented stars on the roster. The media loves to manufacture friction between elite players, but the reality on the court was a masterclass in pure, unselfish synergy.
In the game, Caitlin draws the defense, kicks it out to Paige. Paige buckets there from the outside. So we get to see this Team US.
Truly transcendent players don't just accumulate stats. They act as a rising tide that lifts every single player around them. Clark doesn't need to dominate the ball for 20 seconds to control the game. Watch this drive. She attacks the paint, and the Senegalese defense immediately panics and collapses on her like a magnet. She knows exactly where Paige Bueckers is positioned on the perimeter. The kickout is perfectly timed right into Bueckers' shooting pocket. Paige buckets from the outside. We saw this same incredible chemistry with Angel Reese. Reese has been expanding her game, looking incredibly fluid handling the ball in transition, showing flashes of a downhill attack. Clark recognized this instantly. She rewarded Reese's rim running and dirty work with pinpoint passes. When you surround the best playmaker in the world with elite finishers who are willing to run the floor, the game simply becomes unfair. And it is not just about the direct assists. It is about the culture of the offense. When you have a point guard who is this willing to distribute, it acts like a virus. It infects the rest of the team in the best way possible.
The Rock too, like look at this play. This is really just unselfish basketball by star players. Caitlin's got it. You see Paige in the corner. Paige cuts baseline, gets it, kicks it out to Ray Burrell. Three-pointer, good. So that's just beautiful, beautiful ball.
This right here is the pinnacle of basketball nirvana. This is the beautiful game. The possession starts with Clark, who shares the rock with Bueckers. Paige immediately reads the defense, cuts hard along the baseline, draws the eyes of the defense, and kicks it out to Ray Burrell for the wide-open three-pointer. It is poetry in motion. This is what happens when ego is removed from the equation. Clark's unselfishness is contagious. The entire team starts making the extra pass. They start cutting harder because they know, without a shadow of a doubt, that if they get open, the ball will find them. She transformed a collection of individual all-stars into a synchronized, fluid motion machine. When the final buzzer mercifully sounded for Senegal, the box score read like a video game simulation. Caitlin Clark finished with 17 points and 12 assists, a dominant double-double. To put that into perspective, the next highest assist total on the entire Team USA roster was 3. She was playing chess while everyone else was playing checkers. Ryan Howard exploded for 21 points, largely acting as the primary beneficiary of Clark's spectacular court vision. But the single most terrifying statistic of the night? The plus-minus. In her minutes on the floor, Team USA outscored Senegal by a staggering 35 points, plus 35. Her mere presence on the hardwood equated to an unstoppable avalanche of points. And honestly, it could have been even worse. There were moments where she was standing wide open on the wing, and the ball simply didn't swing her way. What we witnessed against Senegal wasn't just a successful return from injury. It was a terrifying statement of intent to the rest of the globe. The chemistry she is already displaying with the next generation of American basketball royalty proves that this squad isn't just preparing to win, they are preparing to dominate for the next decade. Caitlin Clark proved unequivocally that she is the orchestrator of this new era. She has the vision, she has the limitless range, and most importantly, she has the relentless competitive engine that refuses to let the pace of the game drop for a single second. If this was just the prototype, if this was just her shaking off the rust in her senior debut, the rest of the world is in very, very deep trouble. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more deep dive tactical breakdowns like this, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments down below, is there any defense in the world that can actually slow down Caitlin Clark when she is playing at this pace? I will see you in the next one.
Approach this game, just not knowing how your body feel. Were you like, let me get out, get some assists early, did your legs feel better second half, and what was that?
My body's been feeling really good, so just kind of having confidence in that, and you know, I think don't worry about the body. I think that was kind of the mental battle, is like trying to get over that aspect, like don't think about it, don't worry about it, like you put all the time in that you can to be in the best position you are, and I feel great. So I think my mentality coming in was just play really, really hard. Like I think this is such a different scenario for me, rather than the WNBA season. It's like when, you know, a lot is kind of on my shoulders to create and do a lot of things. Obviously here surrounded with 11 other players that are so talented on clear that have won gold medals. So my focus more than anything is just play really fast, really up tempo. I know that's what I'm good at and what I can bring to this team. And people finish really well, we run the floor well, and then, you know, people made a lot of good shots.
Great.
Thanks, everyone.
Oh, great. B+. Always trying to be better, you know. Thank you.